Hi, this is a presentation about cooperative learning by Elaine. Cooperative learning is an instructional strategy that usually involves groups of 3 to 5 students. In these groups, students work together to solve a problem or complete a task. It requires students to work in small groups, and it maximizes their own and each other's learning. In cooperative learning, students are responsible for not only their own learning, but also for helping their teammates learn. But how does this work exactly? There are 5 major elements that form cooperative learning. These 5 elements are positive interdependence, individual accountability, cooperative skills, face-to-face interaction, and group processing. Oftentimes, educators attempt to use cooperative learning in their classrooms without these elements. What results is a form of group work where only 1 or 2 students usually take responsibility for the work of the whole group. Without these 5 elements, cooperative learning will not be successful. The first element is positive interdependence. This is the idea that no one can succeed unless everyone in the group succeeds. It is absolutely critical for the teacher to establish mutual goals for the group, joint rewards, shared materials and information, as well as assign roles. This is a way to ensure that every member of the group recognizes their importance and role in the group learning. The second element is individual accountability. This requires each member of the group to be responsible for learning the material for themselves. They're each responsible to help complete the task, and the teacher needs to assess individual learning in order to keep every student accountable for the work done in cooperative groups. If one member does not understand the material, it is the responsibility of the group to help them understand. And because every member's success reflects the success of the whole group, each member is encouraged to help one another. The third element is cooperative skills. This refers to the skills that are either taught to the students before the group work begins, or these are skills that are developed through the group work. Skills such as small group leadership, conflict resolution, communication, trust building, and many other interpersonal skills are strengthened through cooperative learning groups. And as the group becomes more skillful, their achievement will go up. The fourth element is the face-to-face interaction. This is the act of discussing, summarizing, elaborating with one another, and receiving feedback from one another. Research has found that almost 70% of a student's learning comes from discussions with other students. And allowing students to work in cooperative groups gives them a greater opportunity to have these face-to-face discussions with one another. And that ultimately improves their achievement. Lastly, the fifth element is group processing. After the activity, the group should be allowed time to reflect and think about what they did well and what they could improve on. This time is important for helping students to set future goals and self-assess their own social skills, learning skills, and group work. When it comes to cooperative learning in an ELL setting, there are many benefits. One of the greatest benefits of cooperative learning is that it allows students of varying levels of performance to help each other and support each other in their learning. For example, a student at WIDA level 1 for reading, but WIDA level 3 for speaking can be the speaker of the group. Another student in the group who may be at WIDA level 3 for reading may be the reader of the group. When the students struggle at any point in the work, they can help support each other by using their strengths. Other benefits of cooperative learning include increased achievement, more opportunities to speak in English for ELLs, which leads to a higher self-esteem, greater intrinsic motivation, more on-task behavior, and it satisfies the social nature of students. On top of all that, the students are way more engaged in cooperative learning than sitting and staring at a lecturing teacher. Especially for an English language learner, it is critical that they are given plenty of opportunities to practice their English, and cooperative learning allows the students to do just that. Some things to consider in using cooperative learning as a tool to help English language learners is that they will need lots of very clear scaffolds and supports, as well as lots of visuals to help their learning. While there are many benefits to cooperative learning for ELLs, such as giving them more opportunities to speak English and learning to work independent of the teacher, ELLs can very easily be lost in a cooperative learning setting because of the higher demands in English. Therefore, the teacher must scaffold the activity very intentionally. Each step of the activity must be very clearly explained and laid out. Roles should be written out, preferably on a piece of paper, so that students can visually see their roles. And grouping students should be very intentional, depending on their WIDA levels. There should be constant monitoring of the groups to make sure that every student is participating and no one is shying away from the task because of the language demands. And there should be a check for accuracy after each step of the activity to ensure full understanding of the task. With these scaffolds in place, an ELL student can be very successful in cooperative learning groups. Some strategies that can be used to make cooperative learning even more effective are strategies such as assigning roles in the groups, using numbers or colors in the group to designate each student a role, or numbering their heads to keep every student accountable. Some other activities and strategies to try are think, pair, share, where students are given a topic to think about on their own. After formulating their thoughts, they pair up with a partner and share their thoughts. Another strategy is the circle of friends. In this activity, the students split into two circles, one on the inside, the other on the outside. Then they pair up and tell a story while the other listens and gives feedback. In conclusion, cooperative learning is a tool that can greatly improve the academic achievement of ELL students. It is a non-threatening opportunity to interact with other students and form these quality interpersonal relationships. Educators should highly consider implementing this tool into their classrooms.